Good morning and welcome to Saturday Morning Comic Talk. This is a show where we talk about whatever the heck I thought up in the middle of the week with some top indie creators. So today is all going to be horror movie related. Every October we do a horror movie show and we talk, and it's just going to be about horror movies today. So we have two other guests that are on the way. Nick, I see, is here but not connected yet. So we'll see Nick in a little bit. And then we have Matt coming in, and Matt's been on the show before, so we'll have them. He's driving home right now, so we'll get them. But right now, we're going to talk with people that are in the room. So, Dash, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm Dash. I'm the co-host with Ed of First Impressions on Wednesday nights. I'm a struggling yet hopeful indie author who's got 3 books up on Amazon at this point. If you like books, you can go check them out on Amazon. I like to read and I like to write.
Good stuff. All right, Justin, tell us about yourself.
I'm Justin. I do podcasts. I write comic books. I love horror. I mean, everything I do is horror related. So it's a fitting episode.
Fair enough. Yeah, works out. So Matt is here. Let me grab him. Hey, Matt, how are you?
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Just in time. So we're doing introductions. So Matt, you've been on the show before, but for those who haven't seen your previous episodes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Matt Knowles. I'm one half of Insymmetry Creations. We've got a bunch of titles, but right now we are on Kickstarter with our finale episode of Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects. We are super stoked about this. It's been a long time in coming to get to this point, but we are super stoked to be there and be talking about this on shows like yours today, Mr. Ed Davis.
Nice. Well, welcome back. Always happy to have you. He's been on both our shows, and it's always a good time. Mm-hmm. So, and then I think today you were just doing a horror convention, so it's kind of a good timing for everybody to talk about horror movies because, yeah, I mean, it's October. It's the movies to watch. Oh, and we got our last guest in here, Nick. Welcome to the show.
What's going on? Sorry, tech issues, but happy to be here.
It happens. We're doing introductions, so your timing is perfect. So you can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll dig into our first topic. So, Nick, tell us about yourself, please.
Yeah. Hey, cool. Thanks for having me. I'm Nick. I live in New York. I love to write. I've written a few graphic novels, but I'm just a horror geek at heart. Have been since I was a kid, and I love it all. So yeah, excited to talk.
Yeah, that's perfect. We have a lot of big time horror fans in this episode. Last year, when I did the same episode, the 2 people that I brought in were kind of, I kind of like horror movies. I'm like, shit, I gotta cherry pick the guests. And this time I didn't. I mean, it's just kind of like, who needs a date, who has an opening? And then this time it just so happens that I pulled in a group of people that are passionate about horror movies. Yeah, because when I ask questions, what's the horror movie that disturbs you the most? I didn't really get disturbed by a horror movie before. I don't watch that many. It's like, what have I done? So yes, this time we're ready to dig in, and hopefully we can find out some stuff about horror, some movies that we don't know. So Steph, good morning. John, good morning. So yes, big time horror fan. Yeah, me too. So I'm excited to talk with some other horror fans about, horror movies. They're something I love. So, Kat, is that Matt Knowles? I know him. Yeah, we know him both. Although Steph, I've met in person. Matt, I still haven't. Hopefully, one day we remedy that.
One day we shall remedy such things.
Oh yeah, because you get out my way. I need to get out your way. I need to get back to Florida. I did one con out there. It went exceptionally well, but it's a lot of travel. It went exceptionally well, and I still didn't make much. I made pennies, if anything, but pennies on a travel con is a win.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So Kat is not a horror fan. So guess what? We're not going to be putting on a show for you tonight, but you can be entertained by the personalities in this room because we got some good people. So if nothing else, listen to us talk about horror and think about what movies you don't want to watch. All right. So we're going to start off with our horror movie Mount Rushmore. And like I said, last year, this did not go well. One person named 8 movies. I'm like, Do you know how many presidents are on Mount Rushmore? So when we're talking horror movie Mount Rushmore, you got 4 presidents. We're going to put our 4 heads on the horror movie Mount Rushmore. So it could be iconic killers, whatever head we want to put on there. And I'm sure we could AI generate that, but fuck that. We are not going to, because that's bullshit. So there will be no AI generating anything, but imagine it in your mind when we give our horror movie Mount Rushmores. So let's see. Dash, we're going to start with you.
You had to put. All right. God, listen, I'm old, so if I hit all 80s, don't get mad at me. No. Starting off first is The Exorcist. It's still the scariest movie to me. It's the epitome of scary movies. It's not the slasher type, but man, it's my favorite watch every year. I will watch it. It's my number 1 favorite horror movie of all time. So that throws that one out there. So number 2 was a little difficult. I mean, because there's so many good ones out there, but and y'all will laugh at me. I like My Bloody Valentine. Man,
the original, I have to.
The original, yeah, the original, not the one with Dean Winchester. The 1981, 1981 version. I have. If you guys, anybody follows me on Facebook, we're going through our tournament right now with horror flicks, and the fact that people chose I Know What You Did Last Summer over My Bloody Valentine is it's appalling. People, it's appalling.
Hey, I can tell you the actor that actually was in the original My Bloody Valentine is not a fan of the remake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I interviewed him last year, and he is not a fan.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I just love. It's scary. I mean, it's a good scare. Plus, who's not afraid of somebody in a miner's outfit? So, and then you find a heart rotating around in the dryer. It's pretty cool. So
yeah.
That's my number 2. Number 3, Friday the 13th. It was between this one and number 2. I like Friday the 13th, the original again. I was young, and my brother and I watched this movie, and Kevin Bacon's laying there on the cot, and all of a sudden a hand comes up and boop, right through the. My bed was that small at that time. I did not sleep for 3 months probably without a light on. So still one of my favorite. And then Creature of the Black Lagoon, original. It's the one that was the one when I first really started watching horror flicks with my brother. That was the one that we watched together first. It was Creature from the Black Lagoon. Came on public broadcasting TV, I think at the time. We didn't have cable or anything, but they showed it late one Saturday night on public broadcasting, and it's the one that got me hooked into horror movies, and I've loved it ever since. So
nice. And
my top 4.
Kat has contributed her Mount Rushmore of horror movies, and they're all animated. Coraline, Monster House, Frankenweenie, and Corpse Bride. So thank you for your Mount Rushmore. And that's a solid Mount Rushmore of animated horror movies. If we were doing that, that's good. I mean, Coraline, you can't lose with Coraline. That movie, it's got legs where it's kind of getting another generation. I mean, I always read the book aloud to my class, so I'm a fan of Coraline and the adaptation. Maybe not so much Neil Gaiman and his shenanigans, but we separate the art from the artist, because I write Cthulhu stories, and H.P. Lovecraft was no saint, so it's kind of like, all right, you know what, you gotta separate them, and you just love it as great literature and great film. So there you go, great Mount Rushmore. Dash,
I just want you to know how hard it was to make a Mount Rushmore, because there's just so many daggone good movies. And
I'm going to change mine from last year, because it wouldn't be fair to be just like, here we go, I already gave you one, so I'll just rehash it. So I made my revised Mount Rushmore for this year. So Justin, what is your Mount Rushmore for horror movies?
All right, now I do have a question, because I took that very literal when you sent me the topic of like the actual movies. Like, are we picking a character from those movies as well?
You can. I mean, hey, you can put the character heads up on the Mount Rushmore. The rules are give me 4. I mean, however you give the 4, you are good to go.
All right. Evil Dead 1.
Oh,
yes.
One of my favorite movies of all time. I even love how it's just lot, stays truer to that horror form before it goes into like the Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Mhm.
I love everything that Sam Raimi did back then. The second one, Phantasm. I
Oh yeah.
can't express
Yes.
how much I love that movie. The Tall Man is one of those things that gave me nightmares
Scary
when I was
as
a
hell.
kid.
Mhm.
Oh, I loved it. Man. Third one, I mean, I was born in the late 80s. I feel like I'd be completely messing up if I didn't say, how much I love Leprechaun.
Oh,
I know it's cheesy, but man, I love everything about it.
Jennifer Aniston. It got us introduced to
Oh,
Jennifer
yeah.
Aniston.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. And man, I feel like I could still watch her every day and be happy. For the last one on the list, though, I mean, kind of going a little bit more modern. There's a movie I all around love, and I'm a huge anthology fan. Sam from Trick or Treat. I mean,
Oh, yes.
great movie, like all around the turnaround.
Mhm.
Like every little aspect of that movie is just insane, and I love the whole thing. Probably one of the best wraparounds in like 20 years too.
So good, and we don't get great anthology movies anymore. It's
Mhm.
now I think we were talking about it last week. Everything's trying to be artistic, and we want to be the thinking man's horror. It's like, just entertain me. I mean, you could be thinking man's horror too. I don't begrudge that, but let's have a little mix of both. And I guess Smile movies like that are still kind of bringing in regular old school kind of horror, but I love the anthology stuff from Tales from the Crypt, the Tales from the Dark Side movie, the Tales from the Crypt, all of those
Creep show.
Creep show. There's not Tales from the Crypt because that was the TV show, which that
No,
was my
no,
first
no.
There's
HBO
a
stuff.
70s movie too. That was
That's right. And they did both of
Vault of
horror.
Horror.
Yes, I have the Blu-ray that's got both of them on it. So yes, you're right. So yeah, I love the good anthologized stuff. We need more of it.
You can't have horror without the greatest chin in acting
Ash,
today.
yes.
Yeah. Bruce Campbell is.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
And he's still got it.
He
He's
does.
still got the chin today. It's holding up beautifully.
It'd be weird if he didn't have that chin no more.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's just
gone.
chinless.
It just absolute disappears into his neck.
He does like the what's that one from Dirty Dancing that got the nose job? If he goes to get a chin job,
Oh no.
That would
Jennifer
be
Grey.
almost
Jennifer
as
Grey.
much
like,
as
you're
that.
weird. Yeah, don't Jennifer Grey yourself.
Don't do it.
Yeah, although I guess that's kind of rude. But hey, she paid for the surgery. She knew what she was doing. So I guess she didn't know what she was doing. But all right, Nick, tell us what's your Mount Rushmore of horror movies or characters.
Yeah.
Either way.
So, okay, just got to preface. I think there's a different. When I'm talking Mount Rushmore, I'm thinking like, what are the greatest or more influential? That doesn't necessarily line up with my personal favorites. So it's just kind of what casts the largest shadow, right? So it's going to be a pretty basic list then. So you got I think the granddaddies, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
yeah.
And I love all those movies. If you can tell, I'm also like a big slasher buff. I love, like, I just love that there is a definitive formula that goes into those movies, and seeing how different creators and artists and directors and writers can like tweak that formula and do like creative things with it, and how we'll still get like fun modern slashers. Like you talk about, doesn't have to be thinking man's horror. You just want to be entertained. Thanksgiving that came out
fantastic.
years ago.
Fantastic.
So much fun. And another one that was surprisingly good recently was Heart Eyes, I think from last
I enjoyed that too.
Heart Eyes was interesting.
Yeah. Those guys. So if you want to put Freddy, Jason, Mike, and Leatherface up on the Mount Rushmore, I think that's a good one.
How can you go wrong with those four? I mean, that's the ones that even kids today, they know those four, and they're gonna always know those four. So yeah, I cannot argue with your logic. Those are great picks. All right. So Matt, what do you have for us?
All right, so I'm going to kind of slightly cheat here because I'm going to have to do some mashups. So I'm going to go to what Nick said, and one spot on my Mount Rushmore is going to be smashed up for the horror icon slashers. So you're going to have to mix up Michael, Freddy, and Jason, find a way to have the burned face with the hockey mask, and
William
So
Shatner up there.
one spot there. Then we already talked about The Exorcist. The Exorcist absolutely would be on there. You got the psychological horror. Amityville horror, I think, has to be on there. And I think that Dawn of the Dead goes on there, but it has to have the tagline of the original and the remake. Both versions are icons, and I think the Dawn of the Dead remake is probably the best remake ever in the horror movie genre.
I would say so, because that one took me by surprise, and that was before, Snyder was doing his Snyder thing.
Yeah,
and it was, these zombies move fast. If Snyder did it now, everything would be slow mo, and that was just a intense, strong horror movie, and that's the first thing I ever saw of Zack Snyder. I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna be great. And then
and one of the cool things about that movie too is if you have the DVD, he kind of Zack Snyder at that point, because there's like an hour of extra footage on the DVD of the guy next door and his side story and all that. So it was actually a really cool movie to get tons of additional content, which you didn't get that much outside of like Lord of the Rings at that point in time.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I'm still just such a proponent for physical media, because that's where you get that kind of stuff. When they drop your favorite thing on streaming, maybe they put the trailer there, give you a little press release kind of documentary thing. But to get that deep stuff, those great deleted scenes, the commentaries, all that stuff, those exist in the physical media. And it's sad to see it disappear, because I do have that Dawn of the Dead. I've seen all the footage you're talking about, and it's great. I love watching that. I miss it. I wish that we could get a return to physical media. We might. I mean, vinyl's hot again. Now my kids are talking about wanting to buy vinyl records. So everything moves in cycles. So who knows?
CDs are hot again.
Yeah, they are. And
so cyclical. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. What my oldest is like, oh, I want a CD player, Dad. I'm like, go in the garage. You're gonna find a million CDs you're gonna like. So yeah, it's like I'll get you a CD player and a shit ton of CDs to build your collection with. So yeah, we still have a lot of physical media, which the one thing about physical media I'll say is it takes up so much damn space. But
that's
I love
the drawback.
Yeah. So win and lose. But yeah, for mine, I'll go with my Mount Rushmore. I kind of thought about my George Washington spot because I want it to be an older one. I'm going to put Nosferatu on there. You go with your silent film, your old school, even if it's not the most entertaining thing to watch today. You think of how iconic it was, how it kind of launched some of those shots that we see in modern horror movies, and the ones that kind of built the Universal monsters and all of that. My second one, I'm going to go with Halloween. So you got to put Halloween on there somewhere. And I think that was the kind of, even though Black Christmas technically came out earlier, actually retract that. Halloween's going third. I'll put Psycho second. So you got to have Psycho. That's kind of the birth of the slasher in its way. And then my third goes Halloween, and fourth has to go with The Exorcist, because that's the one that still gives me nightmares to today. I talk about it on some of my other shows. I would sneak up late at night and watch the HBO or whatever the equivalent was back then, when my parents would be asleep, so I could watch these shows and tell my friends about it the next day. Like, oh yeah, I watched this thing, and describe scene by scene the things our parents wouldn't have wanted us to watch when I was like 7 or 8. And one night I snuck up and watched The Exorcist. They're like, what'd you watch last night? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get in, like you go try to crawl into your parents' bedroom, go back to your room, like, shit, this is my own mess I made tonight. So yes.
No one to blame but yourself.
Yeah. It's like, you're the dummy that decided, ooh, this one, I'm going to stay up and watch The Exorcist and tell my friends all about it. And instead it was, yeah, now I can't sleep. My parents won't let me in the room. I'm not even going to describe one scene to my friends because I don't want to mess their sleep up too. So yeah, that was, yes. So, all right. Glad you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. So yeah, that's my 4. I think it's different than last year. I don't remember. So
write it down.
Lady in White. I have not seen that one, Lady in White.
I have not either.
All right, so cool. No one's seen it, so good. Yeah, I like the obscure ones, but I haven't watched them as much. I used to be really, really deep into all the indie horror, and I would know everything going on, but I've definitely fallen out of that. I'm not as good. I think not having a local video store to just walk into and peruse and look at some titles you've never seen and would never think about seeing makes it harder. Even though the internet, it's very easy to just, type in obscure horror movies, but I still loved the thing of walking in there, looking on the shelf and picking that one box, and 9 times out of 10 it was garbage, but you'd always roll the dice and hope, because I mean that's how I found Evil Dead, movies like that. So yeah, I mean, I would have never seen that movie if it weren't just goriest movie of all time, grab the Dead Alive, and yeah, it's good stuff.
When I was a quick funny thing about that, when I was in high school, I was hanging out with a new girlfriend at the time, and we went to Blockbuster to just find it. We wanted to find a scary movie. I was like 16, so I had seen some of the hits, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And we were walking up and down the aisles, and we see one, and I'm like, oh, this movie is supposed to be really good. It has won a bunch of awards. She hadn't seen it. I pick off the shelf, Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
And if you guys are ever, just a word of advice, if you're ever trying to set the mood, maybe with somebody you're watching, would not recommend putting on Silence of the Lambs, because we were sitting there and we did not keep dating for much longer after. I turned around and be like, I didn't know this movie was going to be like this.
For your first viewing, you don't want to do that.
And great movie, right? But not for that specific kind of scenario.
Yeah, that is not a mood setter. It depends on what kind of mood you're going for, but if the mood is romance, go grab Notting Hill or something. You're gonna endear yourself a lot more with a Hugh Grant movie than throwing on Silence of the Lambs. But I guess that's why she's
by not doing the tuck dance for her.
See, that could have brought it back.
I mean, yeah, that could have been full circle right there.
It's like, I could do that. You want to see?
Promote that on your Patreon.
That's for subscribers only.
Right.
All right. So now we've talked about our Mount Rushmore. Now we're going to go into what's a twisted horror movie, one that stuck with you, that just messed your mind up when you watched it. And it can be something you watched years ago, something you've watched recently. What's one that just got into your head? So we'll go to, let's see, Justin, you can go first on this one.
All right. The original cut of Cannibal Holocaust super fucked me up. I don't know how graphic you wanted me to get into detail with that, but I mean, when that woman gets stuffed with rocks and sand and then piked through her, and not to mention all the real animal deaths in that movie, kind of messed you up a little bit, I mean, I think I was probably about 9 when I saw it the first time. And I mean, I still don't like to sit there. I mean, I like to watch it, but I mean, it still messes with me, but it doesn't leave. It doesn't leave you.
Yeah. It definitely sticks with you in all the wrong ways. You're like, fuck, I need a soul shower right now. That was just too much.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I've revisited that, to be honest. That was a one watch and I'm good kind of movie where I can say, I can check the box, say I've seen it, and do I need to see it again? No. I mean, do I still own the DVD of it? Yes. So I could revisit it if I decide, if I so desired. But those are the ones that I tell my wife I'm watching. She's like, "You're on your own. You watch those ones without me. I don't want to get your twisted shit in my head." So yeah, those ones are my enjoy when the wife is gone movies, and then you have no one to cry with. So yeah, it's bad. It can ruin the date more than Silence of the Lambs, Cannibal Holocaust.
That would
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like we found a movie worse to show on a date.
Somehow.
You're like,
nobody's trying to top that for their list.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a really messed up list now.
Yeah, see, and that was the last year. No movies have really messed me up. I don't watch that many. It's like, come on, I want people to get like, I dare you to go watch it. That's what we tell our watchers right now. I dare you to go out there and watch this movie and see if you're not whimpering into your pillow tonight when you go to bed. So Nick, what's your movie to make people whimper into their pillow?
I actually saw this one super recently. It's a new one. It's called Bring Her Back. Have you guys seen that movie?
I haven't seen that one.
Man, okay, so it's really, really good. It's like it's a very good movie. Script is super tight. The performances are like the acting in it is unreal. But man, it is so not a fun movie to watch. It is
Scary.
It's very scary, but it's also very, very bleak. Like
Okay.
you finish. It is a feel bad movie.
It's
Like
nihilistic. It's nihilistic. It's nihilistic.
It really is, and it's if any of you guys saw a couple years ago came out, it was called Talk to Me. It was by the same directors, and I love that movie. That was one of my favorite.
That was
movies
great.
of 2023, I think. And I like kind of thought that movie was like a crowd pleaser, and it did have like some really gnarly body horror stuff, and was also like very sad. So I was super excited for this movie, and I'm very glad I saw it. But whereas like I've seen Talk to Me probably like 3 or 4 times since it came out, I love that movie, and I think that one, despite it being sad and bleak, is still like a very fun, entertaining watch.
Yeah.
This one, very, very good. Some of the gnarliest body horror I have seen in a movie recently, and just like I left the theater, me and my buddy saw it. We went and got a drink afterwards. We were kind of just like sitting there, just like not talking.
Yeah.
And just like felt hollowed out. So I'm not sure if that's selling it or against it.
It's definitely selling me watching it without my wife. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
She will not want to see it. But yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I mean, I love like you said, the Talk to Me was a great one. So I really like that. I'll give it a chance, because every time I think it's on HBO Max or one of the apps, and every time I go on, it's kind of top of their list. So I guess because it's October, so I got to watch it before Halloween season ends.
Yeah,
Yep.
It is good.
It is on HBO, I believe.
Okay, cool. I will watch it. I think my wife's going to be gone Tuesday, so there you go. She's going to be out doing something with her friends or something. So it'll be like, all right, time for me to watch a movie, and then like when she gets home, hold me and sadness. But yeah, she won't have to actually partake and give me the dirty looks like, what the fuck have you just got me into? Because what was the one? I forget the name of the damn movie where the girl gets her head knocked off in the car.
Hereditary.
Yeah. I told her, I've heard this is a good movie. She was not a fan of me that night. Like, what the hell did you just make me watch?
That was my backup to answer this question. I was deciding between Bring Her Back and Hereditary. Both great movies, but that's another feel bad movie for sure.
Yeah. That one where it's just I said, oh yeah, I've heard really good things, and I didn't know much about it, and then we watched it, and she just gave me this look like, watch that shit on your own. Don't bring me into this mess. So yeah,
and she just popped in.
Did she? So all right. So all right. Morning, Ryan, and yes. So she's laughing, yes, and then all right. So Matt, so not a fan. She was not. We watched it. I think it was my uncle who kept telling me to watch it. So I'm like, he says it's really good, and it wasn't.
Is that Uncle Swifty?
No, that's my other uncle who knows. We agree on horror movies, but I think now she knows if he tells me to watch a horror movie, she needs to avoid it because he likes the twisted stuff.
Nice, yeah. Good
morning. All right, so whose turn is it? Oh, Matt, what movie messed with your head?
All right, so when I was younger, I put Amityville Horror and Rosemary's Baby in the same grouping because think about 80s, 90s, Satanic Panic, all that. Amityville Horror was presented as if this is based on a true story. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is true. There was actually like lava bubbling out from a hole in hell. You're like, holy crap, this is scary. I can't believe this happened to somebody. Then you're like, no, this really isn't exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And Rosemary's Baby, Satanic Panic, did people actually do this with this poor baby? And you're like, it kind of messed me up then. But the movie that messes me up as an adult is Hostel. Because the reason being is because you can look at movies like Terrifier, and you're like, these things are gory, over the top. I mean, horrifically gory, but you're like, this is designed to be, how far can we push it? Hostel, you're like, there is probably somebody out there right now in the Eastern Bloc area of Europe that probably has been kidnapped and is probably in a cage being tormented just like this, having their Achilles tendon slashed and stuff like that.
Reality is real.
Yeah, that's what messes you up about Hostel. Because I'm like, this stuff probably is actually happening to someone right now. And I mean, you go to the Middle East and all the stuff that, you know, the torture that happens to people. I'm like, this is probably nothing compared to that. So that's why Hostel really messes me up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good pick too.
Yeah, that is very much could be reality, because you just think there's some rich people that are really bored. They have too much damn money, and they'll fuck with some tourists. Why not? So
You know, I was in the military, so and Hostel came out while I was in the. No, we're not traveling anywhere other than staying on a base. Yeah, no, yeah. Scary dude.
yeah. See, that's what happens when you take a break from work, Kat. You can't. Matt's here to mess with your head. We're talking about the most twisted horror movies with a group of people who know horror movies. So, yeah, we're taking this one into deeply disturbing, which is perfect, because that's what I was hoping when I did it last year. And you just don't know who's horror fans and not. So I got to make sure, because we do the same show in December for Christmas movies, but of course not what Christmas movies mess with your head. I guess now they have a couple that could mess with your head. We have Black Christmas, Terrifier, Set It Christmas,
Silent Night, Deadly Night. You know,
so there's we could do the Christmas horror movie stuff. But yeah,
I will say this. Not from a mess with your head because it messes you up like this is scaring me, but if you want to see a horror movie that you're going to watch and go, I don't know what just happened. Was I watching one movie and then a whole nother movie just came into play, is Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Barbarian is
fantastic.
like, you want to go into that movie not knowing anything so that the twists aren't spoiled.
Yeah.
But as soon as you see Justin Long in that movie, you're like, what the heck is even going on here? But that is a movie that you want to watch because it's just so fun the way that it is constructed.
Yeah.
That it's just so wild.
Insanely good. I cannot say enough good things about that movie. That was my absolute favorite movie of 2022. And everybody saw Weapons this year from the same writer-director, Zach Cregger. And I thought Weapons was good, but Barbarian is fantastic. So strongly second that.
Nice. And I haven't seen that. I gotta.
You haven't seen Barbarian?
Oh, I haven't.
Listen, you need today. Needs to be Goonies first, Barbarian next, and then you've watched both movies that are now on your homework list.
Yes,
look at that for a callback.
I got to do it. Yeah,
I think it's on Netflix. I think Barbarian's on Netflix.
I know it's streaming somewhere now. Is my wife going to get pissed at me for watching it, or is it kind of safe enough?
I watched it with my girlfriend, and she likes some horror stuff, but I would not show her Bring Her Back. She also got mad at me while we watched Hereditary. I showed her Barbarian. She really loved it too.
Okay.
So
Barbarian is actually one of those well-written movies.
Yeah.
So that you can actually look at it from a writer's perspective.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, the twist it's in the middle of the movie. The twist in the middle of the movie is what you're going to go, wow, I would have never thought to do something that ridiculous for something like this.
All right, so there you go. Witness all. She says she's going to watch it willingly. So if she gets pissed, you have volunteered yourself for this. So
you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah, I can't get the dirty looks. I will not earn them because willingly watch in front of witnesses. So yes, and all right. So Steph is saying no, but she's already said she's willing to watch it, Steph. So I am absolved of all sin. So it's all good.
Steph said, I tried to warn you. So Steph's gonna be like, if she doesn't like it, she's gonna be like, I told you guys so.
Yeah. So Steph has the I told you so card ready to play. So, but yeah, let's see. All right.
You're making me so
No, she watches all the cheesy horror movies. She loves a good cheesy horror movie. But when I watch my more psychological mess with your head ones, she's not here for that. So yeah. You're not bad. You just don't like, any kind of twisted horror movies. So, it's okay. You can like the cheese. Nothing wrong with that. Cheese horror is good. We just watched through all the Terrifier movies because we're going to the horror nights and I want to understand the Terrifier maze. And like you said, they don't get in your head because it's so absurdly over the top, even though they try to take the gore to a 10 every time or like a Spinal Tap 11 on their dial. But still, it's like, yeah, you laugh it off. that's the kind of horror she can watch. But yeah, you get the psychological stuff like Hereditary, not her bag. I mean, yeah, the decapitation things, like what the hell are we watching now?
The funny thing about Terrifier 2, if not Terrifier number 2, but Terrifier overall, is the cast members in Terrifier are some of the absolutely nicest people you could ever meet. David Howard Thornton is like, just like and I mean this with love when I say this, like a theater nerd, kind of a geek, just one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet. But then it's like he puts on the mask and it's like complete, like you can't even find anybody else that ever can have that big of a swing from how nice he is to how he is with Art the Clown. And all the other main actors and actresses are so nice, so personable, and it's just so funny that you're like, hey, I'm the nicest person in the world. Now slit me, from middle of my head through my crotch, and it's no big deal. I mean, just the nicest people you'll ever meet.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've met the guy that plays Art the Clown at one of the horror cons, just like saying good morning, and yeah, like you said, just super friendly, super nice. Some of the actors are complete dicks to the kind of the people on the other side of the room, where it's like, oh no, you're not supposed to be in this celebrity area. We're not here for you. But hey, good morning, how's it going? Hope you do well, kind of thing. So super nice guy. I'm with you on that. And not all actors are. I can absolutely say that. It's most of the people, it's kind of the us and them mentality when you go to a horror con and you have the autograph section and you have the the people that are just selling goods and books and art and things like that, and they just don't even want to associate with you. It's like, how dare you step into my area? Go away, Flash Gordon.
If you go up online and look for Clown Cafe live performance or Clown Cafe world premiere, that's a viral video that I actually am a part of because I was hosting their panel.
Okay.
And when, like 5 minutes before we go on stage, I'm like, what are they back there playing? Like, oh, we're going to do the world premiere of the live version of Clown Cafe. I'm like, okay, I have no idea if we're set up for a guitar on stage or all that, but they actually like turned it into a little backstage documentary that I had no idea was going on. But
cool.
Like I said, fun people, really enjoyable people to be around.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I met him just in passing. Like I said, more just you get the feel of if you even try to say good morning to some of the celebrities, they'll look at you like fuck off, peon. And yeah, he was not like that. So props to him because hey, I've had the fuck off peon ones way too many times.
Sam Jones Jr.
Yep. And I got it on
Video?
on recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was videoed because fuck him. But yeah, never mind. I'll probably see him at another show. So good luck making your sales, sir. I hope you sell all the things.
We've all had one of those. I mean, mine was Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh, that's funny.
that doesn't, but that doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah. All right. So, Dash, what's your horror movie that gets in your head?
I got two. I got an old one and I got a relatively new one, I guess you call it. The old one is Poltergeist. Listen, that thing. Yeah. Just made me afraid of. Listen, I live in Oklahoma, so there's storms literally almost every other day. So crazy, and obviously we're in indigenous land here. But yeah, that Poltergeist just scared the crap out of me. The chairs stacking up on each other, the TV, just all of that was the one that when I was young that really stuck with me for a long time. And then a new one, or relatively new, I guess, is Tusk. Not so much that it scares me, but it messes. It just so. We talked about bodily stuff and everything. Tusk just weirds me out. Like it gives me the heebie-jeebies to, like, what's
Tusk
that? What's
gnarly?
Yeah, Tusk is gnarly, and you get what's that thing you have with like holes in your skin, like the
tryptophobia. Yeah. Yes.
This gives me that kind of phobia, like
For
of
sure.
seeing skin just weird in the Tusk. Yeah. So to this day, that was the ones. Those man.
So
ugh. And
I
plus
have a
Justin
good
Long again.
I have a good story with Tusk. We went to see Tusk in the movie theater because we're both big Kevin Smith fans.
Yeah.
And there's literally 4 people in the theater, my wife and I and this couple. And this couple's watching the movie, freaking the hell out. And she walks up to me after the movie and she kind of taps me. She's like, was that all real? Was that a documentary? So she's so fucked up in the head. She thinks that she's watching real events take place.
Yeah.
So that was the funniest thing. She had this, just her face was white as a sheet. She was just freaked out to hell thinking that she just witnessed someone really being turned into a human walrus.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Justin
made it better.
Long got really turned into a walrus creature.
Yes,
in the making of that movie.
I wish you would have said yes. I wish you would have said
Oh,
yes.
I should have. I should be like, oh yeah, didn't you hear this was the new documentary by Kevin Smith? So yeah, it was so funny because we're just sitting there. There's 4 of us in the theater. And she walks up to me like, all right, what does she want even? But yeah, she's just freaked out. It was so funny. I should have just been like, yeah, didn't you hear? They caught this guy doing it, and someone was trying to infiltrate where they were doing it. Oh, I should have just winged it because yeah, if she were on this show, we know what movie she's going to be talking about because she was just so disturbed by that movie. So that was funny. So Dash, you picked that, and there's a woman out there somewhere in Riverside County who agrees with you. She's like, fuck that movie.
We're probably the only 2 that think that. But.
Yeah.
I'd say the thing about Poltergeist that I don't like, I'm not one of those, oh, look at all these crazy things that happen, but I don't like the fact that the little girl in that movie died so young
right,
and all that's something that creeps me out. Go, man, this girl literally only lived a couple years after this movie, so that always trips me out.
The older sister died. They called it the Poltergeist curse for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because the shaman in part 2, he died shortly after filming. So it was a twisted movie because I know I was reading or watching some documentary, and the shaman did try to do a blessing because he thought the set was actually cursed, and then he died shortly after part 2. So it's just, man, it's got a long line of history of curse. So it's messed up for sure. All right. So Nick, what is yours? Or no, Nick went already. So it's Justin. What's yours?
I went already.
Oh, you went already. So it's my turn.
It's your turn.
All right. So I'm going to go with, we already talked about Exorcist, how it messed with my young brain, but there's another one that I watched more recently. I have a friend who he just gave me this stack of really twisted Blu-rays one day. And I watched this one from France called Martyrs.
Yes.
And it
love it.
Fucked me up so bad because it starts in such a different way than it ends up. And it looks like it's going to be this heist movie and maybe a torture, home invasion kind of thing. And then the person who's invading gets captured. They peel her skin off. And it is the most twisted shit that I've seen recently. And yeah, it was just, he gave me a stack of that. He gave me like, was it Antichrist with Willem Dafoe and like this stack of movies. Prophecy. This stack of movies that don't watch with your wife of movies, essentially. So I would just watch all of them when she was gone. And with that one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to watch like 5 romantic comedies right now. I need a Hugh Grant kick because that movie fucked my head up so bad. And then the other one I think of was The Necromantic. So this movie, all about, there's sequels to it too. I think I watched part 1 and 2 in a row, and just watching movies about people sleeping with corpses, it'll get in your head. So yeah, those ones I just think about like, oh, why did I watch the sequel? I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I think I was with a friend, and he's like, we got to see part 2. So yeah, so yes, don't watch with my wife. That is true. But yeah, Necromantic 1 and 2, and then I took her to a necromantic movie as well. What was it called? Kissed. And I didn't know it was about necromancy. So, whoops, my bad. I thought it was a romantic comedy. I was a bit wrong. But yeah, I tried to tell her, wasn't that part funny when he said this or that? And she's like, that was not funny. He's like, remember when he said, I'll lie real still? Like, she didn't laugh. I heard about that one. I lost movie picks for months because of that one. Like, it was literally like, it's only romantic comedies in your future, sir. That's all you have left. So, all right. So, music and lyrics with Hugh Grant. So there you go. Your Cat's on board with the romantic comedies, and that's what I was gonna watch for a long time. But now we've talked about the movies that mess with our head. Now we're gonna talk about what are some horror movie soundtracks. And I know we have a couple musicians in here, so they might have different ones. But what's your favorite horror movie soundtrack? So let's see. Nick, you can start us off for this one.
I think like any really synthy horror soundtrack is awesome. Like I love a lot of like, you know, old John Carpenter stuff, and I really like the music that he did for the newer Halloween movies, the one like that just came out. I thought, you know, still feels very him, while also being like modernized and pretty cool. But probably one of the like one, if I have to say like one specific soundtrack that stayed with me a lot was and one of my favorite horror movies is from It Follows. It also had like a very like synthy, very I don't know, like vibey, dreamlike almost soundtrack, while also like being able to ratchet up the tension in certain places, and it's just really cool. So that one for sure, and that's also just like a cool creative movie.
Yeah, such a good movie. And that was one of the ones in the stack my friend gave me. And that one I actually did watch with my wife because I kind of knew it wasn't as over the top crazy as Martyrs or something like that. So yeah, that one, such a good movie, great soundtrack, because the soundtrack is so subtle, and that's what works so well with it. So yeah, I'm here for that one. So Matt, what's your favorite horror movie soundtrack?
I'm going to go so far sideways on this that I think you're going to surprise you here, Ed. So my favorite soundtrack, obviously I love like the, you know, orchestral, choir-y kind of stuff. That stuff's great. But my favorite soundtrack, which really isn't soundtrack, but soundtrack, is Friday the 13th Part 6, because, and I'm not an Alice Cooper fan at all, but he did the song He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask, for that movie, and I think that is probably the best song that was like an actual song written for a movie. Mm-hmm. Like I would watch that movie just to go make sure I could watch the credits just to hear that song play. And now I will say this. I was like, you know what? I haven't heard this song in a while, preparing for the show. I'm like, let me go see if there's a music video for this song. Oh my goodness. That is the worst music video I've ever seen. It is so, I mean, 80s videos from that time period are so cheesy. Mm-hmm. But this one literally is like the Limburger of all cheeses. It is so bad. It is so cheesy. But I'm like, you know what? The song is still good. I just can't ever see that video again.
Yeah. Just watch it in the credits. Don't watch the video.
Just watch it in the credits. The credits a much better video than the actual video.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know if I know that song. And I don't want to watch the video now, but I got to like stream Friday the 13th Part 6.
Just to
fast
hear
forward through the movie and just watch the credit.
Yep.
Someone needs to upload that on YouTube. Here, we don't want to watch the actual video. Here's the song in the end credits, so you don't have to watch that abomination of a video. Because I don't even need to see it to know how bad it is. Because 80s metal videos were just next level terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
All right. So Dash, what's yours on this one?
This is, you know, I mean, because like you said, I like all the synth, I like the orchestra stuff, but Carrie, the 1976 Carrie soundtrack is spooky, and I guess because just because it does involve the school and everything, but the prom song, and then just her theme song alone. It is really good. So, and the only reason I say Carrie's one of my favorite, and it's hard to have a horror show without mentioning Stephen King somewhere in there. And then The Shining was another one where I thought they did well with the soundtracks. Yeah. You're not, this is the era where you weren't getting a whole lot of obviously big name rock and roll singers or things like that to jump in there like. But I mean, I think that this is suspenseful, scary, orchestral songs is just fantastic.
Yes.
So.
And as you can see, Matt hunted it down. He hunted down the song with no video, so it's in the chat. There you go. Everyone can go listen to it after the show. I will go listen to it because I too am not an Alice Cooper fan. So if Matt, as not an Alice Cooper fan, is saying it's good, then I can. It's just one of those songs from like the whole rock and wrestling era.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that it just was one of those that just has that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Just has a good vibe. So
Yeah. All right. So, Justin, what's your pick on this one?
My pick's a little different. And it's not what I would say even the best one, but it's just one of those horror soundtracks where you start to hear just that little bit of that music, and it's just, to me, it's just amazing. I fall in love with it. It's something I could put on and go to bed to. But and the band that did all the work for it was Goblin. But 77 Suspiria,
Yep.
the soundtrack for that is just fantastic. The bell work on that is crazy, and it's a weird thing to say for a horror and a metal fan, but I just something about that soundtrack, man. I love the hell out of it.
See, that was my top pick. So
Yeah.
I agree that is a good one. But I mean, I have to make as many picks as there are people on the show. So I always have my plan B. But that one is so good. I know that, and I'm a huge Radiohead fan. I know Tom York did the remake of Suspiria, but it's just the Goblin one is so damn perfect. I mean, it's not that I dislike the Tom York one, but you're playing with perfection when you're trying to remake a soundtrack that is so perfect the first time. And they play shows around here, different Goblin soundtracks. They'll play them while the movie's playing, and I'm waiting for the year that they do Suspiria again, because that
well, it's not the same
so
now. I know they did the 20 and the 30th year anniversary editions, and it's a different version of Goblin, if you will. Not all the same people, but it's still amazing.
Close enough. I'll see it when they're back in LA. But yeah, I love that soundtrack. My other one, I mean, Halloween is an obvious pick, but one that I love the soundtrack of is the Candyman one. I like the Philip Glass weirdness of that soundtrack, and just that little piano kind of thing that starts it off, or I guess it's more synths and stuff like that. But yeah, I love the Candyman one. I mean, Halloween I think was just too obvious. So I tried to pick ones that not everyone knows, because I mean, Halloween, the most iconic thing, and anything John Carpenter did in the 80s was pure gold. So I mean, he was a master of making the horror. He was a master of scoring it. So yeah, I'll go with Halloween as the obvious pick, and then Candyman as my runner-up, because Goblin got snatched. But yeah, that's you got to listen to that. No,
Goblin got snatched.
My job is to make sure I pick so that I can have a pick if someone else gets it. And I'm glad someone else loves that soundtrack, because that one is, I remember I bought one of the DVDs that came out, one of the anniversary ones, and it came with the CD soundtrack and the movie. And it's like, all right, I think I've played the CD soundtrack more than I've played the movie itself, because it's just that good. And the movie, I mean, it's entertaining, but the soundtrack, you just kind of put it on as background, good writing music. It's just a great soundtrack.
The theme songs have been my ringtone for at least 4 years.
So,
I mean,
yes. All right. So now we're ready. So if you haven't already, drop your campaign links into the private chat so I can get those up. I have one ready to go, but now we're going to talk about some campaigns, and then Dash will talk about your book, where you can find it on Amazon. But yeah, let's dig into some campaigns. I have one ready to go, so I'll get that one up first. And here comes the squinty portion of the show. I apologize, but we have Tales of Shock and Horror.
Terror.
Terror, sorry. It's the squinty portion, as I said. This is where my bad vision gets me. Now I can see it better. So tell us a little bit about this, Justin. Tales of Shock and Terror.
So this is my second comic book that I'm putting out with, my editors, Josh Nealis from Cutthroat Comics, that I'm pretty sure you're well aware of at this point.
Oh yeah.
But it's basically, I grew up being a huge fan of Tales from the Crypt and wanting to do something kind of in that vein. So ended up coming up with my own way of doing a horror anthology comic book, but in the same way that EC was doing it in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to push these limits further and further and further. It's kind of a spoiler, but like in the first one, I went a little crazy with some of it. And I mean, I think ended up throwing out one of the covers, which had some of the scenes from the first one where a child is getting his face bashed in with a hammer.
Nice.
And I've basically been trying to push it further and further. And I think the biggest thing I would like to do is for this to get big enough where everybody's mom tries to burn it.
Haha.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
you know, but I just try to push the limits. I love everything horror, like I said. I know we did some of those spoof covers in there, which I've been getting a lot of compliments about lately.
Yeah.
My artist for that is also my tattoo artist, who's
Nice.
I don't know if you can see any of the work that he's done on me, but they're just horror portraits all the way down. But
Cool.
great artist, amazing work. His name is Zell. We live in the northern Ohio area. He's closer to like Toledo than I am. I'm more in the countryside of everything, but it's it's just a horror anthology book in the vein of EC, and like I said, just trying to push those limits and stay true to some really fun horror.
Nice.
Very nice.
So yeah, I love anthologized horror. I mean, I talked about the movies. I love the comics because I mean, I think one of the first comics I really fell in love with was just an old collected version of Tales from the Crypt. Just some reprint that had some random issues in it, and it's just so great. You get quick little
Right.
8-page stories that tell everything, and it's not part 1, part 2 and crossovers. It's just a
Right.
tight little story in 8 pages, and it's a lost art now. And I love that with bringing back like the Cthulhu anthologies, that we still have people writing those tight little stories in 8 pages. And as a writer, it's a great challenge. Like here, especially like I'm writing Immortal Era, this sprawling epic that'll be hundreds upon hundreds of pages. Like, no, write a coherent, tight story that's 8 pages long. It's a great challenge, and it's so much fun to do when you're not thinking of big world building things. Like, nope, you have 8 pages to build your world, build your characters, and give them that final holy crap moment, and you don't get 1 page or panel more. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Definitely.
I am really excited because this was actually my first opportunity of being able to like push some of those covers forward. And I don't know if you noticed that first cover is actually an homage to this iconic cover.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with the EC Comics with Crime Suspense Stories 22.
Yeah, let me get that. I'm going to put the link in real quick, and then I'll go back to that cover and show you. So the link is in the chat. So definitely get on there, get backed. If you like, I mean, it's October. It is the month to back horror comics, even though they won't be here till November. It's okay. Can't we all? I mean, people want Christmas every month of the year. I just want Halloween every month of the year. It's like I want to keep my pumpkins up all year long, not my Christmas tree. Although if I let my Christmas tree rot, it'll be a perfect Halloween Christmas tree.
Probably.
So
we quit even doing a Christmas tree at my house, but we got the Halloween decorations up.
So yes, we do both. But yeah, I love the Halloween stuff. So let me get this back up so we can show that cover you were talking about.
No, you didn't have to go that far.
It's okay. I'm gonna pull it off. So let's see. Get to that EC cover because I gotta see.
No, it's up.
That's an Alien one.
Yeah, and then that's a Goonies spoof. Those are associated with the stories, and that's the original cover, which is kind of our little homage to Crime Suspense Stories 22.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, and I don't know the cover of Crime Suspense Stories 22. I gotta look at that. I did a con exclusive one year that was an homage to, I think it was Weird Science 21 or Weird Fantasy, but yeah, I love those EC homage covers. They are always great.
That was the most expensive comic book I ever bought.
Yeah. All right. So let me pull up the next of ours, and that will be Matt's. So just give me a second. Let me pull it up, and then you can tell us all about it. I think, actually, I know I have all the Heirs of Isildur, so I'll definitely be grabbing this one.
I know Dash has got himself in on this campaign. That's right. Dash, like, we got a wood cover.
That was fantastic.
Oh, cool.
That was, man, as soon as you dropped that, I'm like, I'm going to get that one.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
all right. So the link is in the chat, and now we're going to find out what it's all about. So, like I said, just squint mode engaged. Right. All right, so Matt, tell us about Heirs of Isildur.
So this is the finale episode of Heirs of Isildur. This is actually issue 5. Every one of the books in the Perilous Prospect story arc is a perfect bound book. So they're all 44 to 56 pages. So they all have a spine on them. So they look good on your shelf. The apocalypse has come to the town of Shadowshaven. The only way to stop it might be through those who accidentally caused it. As we get into this book, we're actually in the middle of the finale, the reveal. All the story points that have to be revealed and have to be resolved all finally get resolved in the finale that we have here, which is going to be 48 pages. Oddly enough, we do homage covers for every issue. We did Metalocalypse. We've done Stranger Things, Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. Steph was the one that suggested that we do Back to the Future for this one, which this has got a time travel. There's a time travel base to this apocalyptic sci-fi set in a steampunk world, and the Back to the Future Part 3 poster really worked perfectly for this story. And our campaign launched the day that the guy who did the original poster passed away. We're like, what kind of odd, ironic timing is that?
Yeah.
But then we've got there's the original poster versus our homage cover there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. I love the homage covers. That's something I've never done for my book, but I need to definitely do it when Sherlock Holmes Dracula drops. That one begs for an homage cover.
So we've got 4 covers for this one that are also available in metal as well, and then there's the one that Dash picked up that is the metal. The wooden only cover. It's a painted piece of wood that is then lasered, and then we apply that onto a cover. We did some for Tatsumi the Serpent Mistress, but this is the first one we've ever done for Heirs of Isildur. We really like the way they came out for Tatsumi, so we decided, hey, it's the last issue of this arc. We got to bring one in here. We're known for having crazy merch. So there is the 7th and the 8th different poker chips that we've done. We've done them for all of our stories now. There's the 8 different poker chips we've done. We've also got, we've got an alien mascot that we've been using, and we're like, you know what, we need to just get him in there. So I'm actually wearing our alien mascot shirt. We've got fridge bagged, it's poker chips, shirts, and we've got I guess this is our 12th pair of socks that we've done. We've got some custom leather work. There's masquerade masks. There's also a character that's wearing a mask to cover up the electrical burn mark from coming through a portal that was Rogue. We actually, for the first time ever, have wearable versions of those masks. So right there, right under the shirt, you can see.
Yeah, there we go.
It's that blue mask on the outside, Serenity's mask. That's actually one that is worn by the character in the issues. And then the other ones are masquerade masks. It's the steampunk title. You got to have some masquerade stuff like that. So our buddies at GB Leatherworks have those things designed for us, so that way we can, have people like having fun stuff, fun merchandise. That way, it's not just the story. You have the story, you have the merch. The campaign video has got new metal music by me. We've done a few albums, and then for the last few campaign videos, I make sure that there's at least a clip of a new song. So this video's got a clip of a new song by me that goes into the Heirs of Isildur world. Because issue 5 is in the middle of the finale, we don't have any sample pages from the story because we don't want to. They're all spoilers. Every single page, every single one has got some kind of spoiler. So what we did was, same art team, same style. We went back and just put the beginning sampler, and then we picked a couple of random pages throughout that we tried to make sure weren't going to be spoiling any kind of plot lines. So we put those in the samples so that way you can see the art style, lettering, coloring that you are going to get when you get Heirs of Isildur: The Perilous Prospects.
Nice.
The art looks great. I have the other 4 issues. I think, it's hard to see on the bookshelf because they're skinnier, but they're back there behind me. And yeah, I love that you do them so they can go on the bookshelf. It saves them from the long box in the garage, so it makes it so they get to be more prominently displayed. So
exactly, we don't want to have our stuff be in the long box. We want it to be on your bookshelf by all your graphic novels and your trades. Mm-hmm. And then we try to make sure that we show you different groupings of the tiers, because there's always so many tiers in our campaigns with us having a bunch of different titles. We're like, hey, if you just want the regular cover, you just want the metal cover, those are the tiers that are the individuals. Then we have the Cogs and Gears, which has got the 2 poker chips. We've got, catch-up tiers. We've got a catch-up with the homage cover. So if you wanted, you're like, hey, those homages are cool. I want all 5 of the homages. There's a lot of different ways that the stories interact within the universe. So we try to make sure that Travis Gibb actually suggested we put a reading order at the bottom of the campaign. So you're like, hey, I want to just see Heirs of Isildur, how you can go and get the stuff for that one story arc. If you're like, hey, I want to see all the additional characters, like Keto is a character in Heirs of Isildur because he gets pulled through a portal, but he's got his own one-shot graphic novel. This is where I Am Keto would link in, and then I Am Keto links to Tatsumi the Serpent Mistress. We've got Tales from Nocturnia, which is medieval fantasy. We show you how the different things can align so that way you're not just overwhelmed when you look at our offerings and go, man, this is too much. The only thing that has no relation to this at all is Ed's favorite Misfits Clubhouse.
Yes, my class's favorite. Yeah, that sits in my classroom library. It's a fun read for me too, but yeah, one of those. Anytime I can get an indie comic, indie book that I can put into my classroom library, I'm here for it, because I know Cat's book, when it comes out, the Cat's book with cats,
Yes.
that one will be in my classroom library. It's going to be making its way there. I'll give it a quick read and then throw it in the library because I love doing that. So yes, and Cat says stop teasing with the poker chips, but yeah, you can get your poker chips. There's no tease.
Yeah,
you just go hit that back button and boom, poker chips are yours.
Yeah, we are just under $1,000 away from minimum funding. We only launched the campaign, only did the campaign for 17 days because we wanted to fit it in between live appearances that Steph and I had, some in Florida, she had one in California, some in other states. But we also wanted to make sure that we ensured that we could ship everything from this before Christmas. There was a couple things like maybe the wood cover, maybe the leather work won't be before Christmas, but our intention is to have everything out the door and in your hands before the holidays.
Nice. Yeah, that's the challenge. And then I just got, and I'm sure you got it too, the thing that Postal Service is raising the rate. So it's like,
Yep.
Thanks for that.
Yep, they do it every year. It's ridiculous. And if you're a metal music fan, we do have the add-ons of our vinyl records and things like that from our different albums. Our vinyl records are in the campaign as well.
Nice. I got to check that
I have
out.
I have to go rehash or readjust my order. I didn't see that. I must have been scrolling.
So go to the add-ons. In the add-ons, it's in there. So you can just go in and go to the add-ons, and you've got 2 different versions of Heirs of Isildur versus Tales from Nocturnia. You've got two different vinyl splatter versions.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, I gotta get in on that one for sure. And then socks, because we have crazy sock day at my work, and I've always been a boring person who wears either plain white or plain black socks. I have no variety. But now I can have an alien sock, and I could be like, oh, this sock comes from the same people who have that comic book that you guys love.
That's exactly right. Like I said, it's a sock based on this shirt.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know when the rate increase starts, but I know I just got the email from, because I use stamps.com and I use Pirate Ship, and I got the email from both of them saying that they're going up. So
Yeah,
I'm going to be fulfilling in December too. So Kat, I'm in your boat. We're both going to be fucked over by the USPS, but it's nothing new. Like Matt said, it's every year they do it. They're like, hey, you guys are going to ship more. Haha, here you go. It's like when I went to a concert the other night, and the concert was undersold, so they raised their parking rates by $10. Like, they'll fuck you one way or the other. They will get their money.
So it looks like the temporary price increases for the holidays went up October 5th and October 6th, and then they come back down on January 18th. So this is like the 3rd year in a row they've done this. But yeah, that does kind of suck.
Stamps does that. Stamps does that every year. So.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know it was already up. So all the things I've been mailing for I'm fulfilling all the Immortal Era stuff. All that has been with the increase. But I guess I'll fulfill my next campaign on starting the 19th. So let's get this next one up there. So this is a pre-launch. So Nick, tell us about this book.
Yeah. So this is The Apostasy. This is a comic I wrote. This is the 3rd one that I'm going to be doing on Kickstarter. I worked on this book with an Akron, Ohio based artist named Dave Schuler, who's really, really great. the story is pretty much basically lone wolf and cub set in hell. So you've got like a lone wolf and cub style story, but the characters are, in this story happen to be, demons, and digging into it a little bit further. It's kind of about unionized demons working in hell as torturers and, scourging the souls of the damned. And one of them has a change of heart and decides to go against the grain and go against everything that he's come to know and accept as his life, and then embarks on a bit of a journey that leads to some self-discovery. And Dave, who drew the book, I mean, he's a wizard, man. I met him at an arts fair outside of Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and he just had his art was super creepy and a lot of gnarly looking creatures and demons and stuff like that. Just started, talking to him, and we decided to make something together. So I actually wrote the script after meeting him because I wanted to make sure I was writing something that kind of reflected his prowess and everything like that. And I actually for the first time I took a stab at lettering the book too. So it was cool to learn a new skill kind of, and something that can help me just in my creative output in the future. But it was a lot of fun. It's going to be 48 pages. All of the art and lettering is fully done now. So really the main thing left is to just get the money and then print and ship, which is great. I was actually also planning on doing after January 18th as well. This campaign is going to be running starting November 1st until the end of the month. So just for the month of November. And yeah, that's it. Had a lot of fun writing it. Working with Dave was really great. We did some fun stuff with the colors too, a little bit of like Sin City style creative coloring.
Yeah, I see that.
Mostly black.
Yeah, I like that.
Little like flashes of color there. Yeah, and I'd also tried to do some creative stuff with colors in terms of the lettering as well. And
how did you feel about the lettering though? Was it difficult or did you find it easy? What is it that?
Oh man, I mean, yeah. It actually showed me a lot in terms of like writing scripts. Like I used to write like scripts that would have like a one panel with like 5 different characters like talking and going back and forth, and I'm like, I'm never doing that shit again. That's a nightmare. It did help me look at creating scripts in a different way. But yeah, I mean, thankfully, Dave, again, who drew the book, he is a pro at Adobe Illustrator. So he got on, Zoom with me multiple times just to like go over the same thing of like, all right, now how do I use the direct select tool? Like just like the most basic questions. So it was a challenge for sure. I think I still got a lot to learn probably, but by the end of it, I was able to kind of get into a groove. And
that's fantastic.
Nice.
So, always fun to learn a new skill, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is great. And it's what day do you launch?
November 1st.
November 1st. We should definitely cross promote because I'll be launching my book on November 1st. And if you want to come back on the show when you're live, you're welcome. Every week's new topic, so it's not like you're going to come on and talk about the same thing. So yeah, you are welcome. Welcome back if you'd like to come.
Would love to cross promote. So the label that I help run with my other buddy who's I've worked with on 2 other books before. We're called Unearthly Comics, and you can follow us on Instagram at Unearthly Comics. The link to this campaign is right in our bio right there. Or we've also got unearthlycomics.com, which is just our website, the label site, and everything like that. But yeah, we're excited about the Apostasy, and yeah, would love to cross promote. That's funny that we're both launching on November 1st.
Yeah,
sounds like a good day, and then sets a nice timeline to maybe do some of that fulfilling after January 18th.
Yeah,
just outside factors being what they are, and but yeah, would love to. But yeah, that's the Apostasy. Really excited about it.
check it out. It's pre-launch, so you don't have to pay anything. You just hit that button. It costs you nothing, and it helps Kickstarter know that people are excited about this project. So it helps more than you know, and it's the hardest thing for me to tell, especially my friends and family that back the book. Like, please just hit there. Like, no, I'm going to buy it anyway. Why do I need to know when it's coming out? You'll tell me. So they don't quite understand that it's all playing games with algorithms and making Kickstarter think that, oh, people are really excited about this book, when my family and friends will absolutely buy it, but they're like, I'm not hitting that dumb button. I don't want to do that. Kickstarter confuses me. I don't want to do that. So for those of you that are out there, it is free. Hit that button. And what I say every week is, even if you can't afford to back these projects, we know financially things are tight right now, throw $1 at the book, throw a share on your Facebook, on your social media. All you got to do is hit that button that says share and say, hey, this is a great project. I just, heard about it on the show. I think you guys should hear about it too. Everything you do to help these projects is always appreciated by the creators. I can tell you, as a creator, we appreciate it more than anything. And we understand that you may not have the finances, but share button costs you $0. That follow button costs you $0. So please hit those. Help these creators out, because right now on Kickstarter, it is a gigantic uphill battle, and we're doing our best to get through it. So every little thing you do helps us immeasurably, and it's greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Couldn't say it better myself.
So I'm going to pull yours up, Dash.
All right.
Then you can tell us what this is all about, and I will also get that link in the chat for people. Although when I go to the link, it pulls up this giant one that'll take 4 lines. So I'm going to copy the one from the private chat that somehow is nice and tidy. So let me pull it up, and you can tell us all about it.
All right.
A lot of good horror and Halloween themed stuff going on for October. It's good stuff. All right, so let me grab it. Tell us about Hybrids.
All right. This one came about with my daughters. Surprisingly, I homeschool, and we were doing a project where we were drawing hybrid animals together, and they said, "Ooh, some of these are kind of scary," and so that's where this book took off. This is basically, if you like Jurassic Park, if you like Predator or Stargate, this is the book for you. It's there's a lot of horror elements in this book as well. You have a special forces team, if you will, going in to try to get some paleontologists that fell into a portal. That's their whole job, is to rescue people that fall into these portals. Well, in this portal, they don't come back, and you've got some hybrid monsters in there. You got, as you can see on the front there, you got the Gorgator, and you've got the Crococonda, and you've got lots of crossed animals that they don't care about what you look like, and they're just going to eat you. So really thought this one turned out good. This is the first in a 3-set series, and looking forward to this one. We've been out just about a month now with Hybrids. So there's, as you can see, we're on Amazon. There's they got the ebook as well as a hardcover, and we're going to be dropping a softcover next week for this one as well. And then be looking forward to Christmas time. We're going to be dropping the Colt Windsor, my Western horror supernatural book 2. It's called The Hand of the Devil, and as you can see right now, I'm kind of doing some editing on that one as well. So that will be out. Colt is in trouble. Colt's also on, the first book is also on Amazon. You can just search it under Dash and Colt Windsor, and you'll get it pulled up. So that's my Hybrids. And we're working very hard on Hybrids 2 as we speak. My daughters, we did a contest. Kat's still out there. She gave me a good monster to throw in there. So we got a half giraffe, half raptor style monster that's going to be featured prominently in the book. So
a giraffe.
A giraffe.
You beat me to it. I was holding that one.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, we have a giraffe in there. So, yes, you won. You won, Kat. You did. You got the.
Kat is the winner, And Kat, you were saying you were looking for people that need an editor out your way. I'm sure I have a project coming up that I can throw your way when it finally finishes, because it's a script that's about 2/3 of the way done. Also inspired, my mind started wandering when I was at one of my daughter's choir performances, and I thought of an entire story when I was there. So we're leaving. I'm like, oh my gosh, that song you were singing, I just thought of a whole new book. She's like, of course you would. So yes, she knows how it goes. So all right, Kat, the winner. Congrats.
And she wins the free book. So she'll win a free copy of Hybrids too.
Nice. All right. So real prizes. And now I will do a brief on mine, because mine is also in pre-launch as well. Launching on November 1st, right here. We're going to do it on Saturday Morning Comic Talk. I'm going to try to get Dan in here when we launch it, because he's my artist. So yeah, of course our mind never wanders at our kids' performances, because we're fully engaged in especially when they're your child's not actually up on stage singing and you're watching some other group of high schoolers or middle schoolers. You're fully engaged with those kids that aren't yours.
Yeah.
That's the best part, is discovering new talent. So let's pull mine up real quick. And this is Floaters number 1. So let me get to where we're actually at the right thing.
I might be living Floaters right now. I might actually I might be living this comic.
That is my real life at all times, unfortunately. So Floaters, it is the story about how floaters aren't as innocent as they are claimed to be. If you know what floaters are, they're weird little objects that kind of move through your vision. They appear to be floating, and they are there at all times, all day, every day. And I was dealing with massive amounts of real floaters. About 40% of my visual field was obstructed by little tiny gnat-looking floaters. And I went to multiple doctors and was told, oh, it just comes with age. It's no big deal. And then had to spend hours and hours, 17 hours in 3 different hospitals in one day, and getting my first of 2 surgeries on it. And when I was stuck in this waiting room, I told the nurse, what's the one thing I need? I need a piece of paper, because I just started thinking, what are these floaters? Maybe they're lying and they're not actually just these harmless things that come with age. What if they're parasites that invade your brain and make you a homicidal killer? So our protagonist develops floaters in the beginning, and we see kind of the progression of his floaters, but also how these floaters made it to him, because the floaters move from person to person, and they stay in that person until the person is killed, and then they move on to the next person. So we see that they completely take over your mind. They make you do things you would never do. They make you see things the way they would never look. And that's our little teaser. Colors are nearly finished. They should be finished by the end of the week. And this is by Dan Schmidt. If you know his work with Worms Crawl In and Worms Crawl Out, he did all of the art for this one. And like I said, it's fully written in hospital waiting rooms, and it is a one-shot story. It's not going to be an ongoing series. It's just going to tell kind of this movement of the floaters, but it's always open for other issues, because the floaters will eventually move to the next person, and they're going to destroy someone else's life in this whole sequence. So This one launching November 1st, closest to Halloween we could get. And it's about, I'd say, 40% real story, things that did happen to me in real life. Getting bit by a dog when I went out the first day I noticed I had floaters, and being attacked by a homeless woman when I was leaving the hospital. Those things were real and crazy. And yeah, when the story was written in one particular way, and then when I got out of the hospital and the homeless woman runs up to me and starts shaking me saying that I'm not real, I'm like, yes, that is going in the story. This thing's writing itself now. So yeah.
Art imitates life.
Yeah.
Yes. But my family's safe, so don't worry. That part did not really happen. So we have some great books available. I will put the link to Floaters into the chat. So you can get in there and hit that pre-launch button. I think we're at about 28 followers now. I'd love to get to 100, but I know that is much more difficult. So if I can get to 50, I would be pumped up. So it's, even if you know that you don't want to buy it, go ahead and follow it. It doesn't hurt anything. And if you know that you want to buy it and you don't want to have to follow it, please follow it anyway, because it really helps out a lot. So we appreciate anything that you do to share these projects, to back these projects. And yeah, there's some great ones, a lot of dark themed stuff, which is what we want. And then the finale to Heirs of Isildur in his giant universe, as you saw in that bottom thing, a big connected universe. I thought I was all badass for connecting two of my stories, and Matt's like, hold my beer.
I will say this: one of the things we try to do though is we don't want it to be where somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, one of the things I don't like about Marvel and DC is like, to understand any part of the story, you've got to be like, oh, I've got to go look at these other 12 different things. If you want to look at I Am Kido and Tatsumi, you can look at that and never even touch Heirs. If you want to see Tales from Nocturne, just get into the medieval fantasy, you can do that. If you want to be a fan of the metal music and you're like, I don't want to read, I just want to listen to music, you can do that, be perfectly fine. When you start putting some of the pieces together, that's when you get an experience that's a little different than other places.
Yeah. And that's the great thing. And that's what I tell people is the more you read, if you read both Corruptor and Immortal Era, you'll find Easter eggs, but you won't be confused by either one having not read the other. And that's the way I wrote it as well, where it kind of enhances the universe. You'll get some fun little Easter eggs. Oh, there's a character that I hadn't seen, and now here he is, or here she is. But other than that, it's like, you don't want to make it where, like you said, Marvel and DC definitely ruined it with if you didn't read these previously, these previous 4 arcs in these different books, you're not going to understand, because that's a jerk way of writing. And we're here to sell indie comic books. We don't want to create confusion at all. We need people to be locked in and know that wherever I jump in, I get my understanding. And with Nick, was yours going to be a one shot, or is it going to be an ongoing?
Wrote it as kind of a one shot. It definitely leaves room to be explored further, but I agree. I mean, when it starts feeling like you got to do homework to keep up, especially with like indie books, right? Like, what are we doing? It's we try to aim for accessibility and for somebody who just like sees the cover, just like, hey, you can pick this up, you can enjoy a story with a beginning, middle, and end. I will say maybe the how I end the Apostasy is a bit of a shameless cliffhanger, I guess. So maybe I'm just like totally blowing smoke. But yeah, it's meant to stand on its own. And if another one comes down the road, then great.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Way to do it.
Perfect. All right, so we're gonna let people know where they can find you on social media, so they can find you, follow you, and hopefully back you. So Dash, where can we find you on social media?
Always being a clown on Facebook every day, because I have no I'm kidding. Yeah, just find me on Facebook. I do lots of crazy stuff, crazy tournaments and things like that. So find me on Facebook.
Sounds good. All right, and where can we find you, Nick?
Yeah, at Unearthly Comics on Instagram, and we've also got all of our books digitally on Global Comics as well. So check out the Unearthly Comics publisher page on Global Comics. When the Apostasy is ready and in its final form, we'll be posting it there too. So if you're a digital reader, check it out there. And then finally, just our website is unearthlycomics.com.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, where can we find you?
You can find me over at talesfromthepodcast.com. Everything I do is associated with that. Very simple.
Tales from the Podcast. Check it out. You're going to be what's the next thing you're going to be talking about? You said it was Are You Afraid of the Dark, right?
Yeah, that's the next series that we're finishing up right now. We've basically been letting the audience vote on what they want us to do, and some asshole thought it'd be a great idea to go through fucking like 9 seasons of fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh wow!
So it's been quite the hassle. We're on season 7, then we got all these newer ones that came out, but we're taking our Halloween break right now. We did Trick or Treat last week. We're gonna do Trick or Treat, the Alice Cooper one, and like the just shit one, if you will. And then we don't know what we're gonna do for our actual Halloween episode yet. We're kind of leaving it up in the air. I mean,
Yeah,
probably Ernest Scared Stupid or something like that. 'Cause it's
something
just fun.
silly.
But
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We got time, but yeah, we're gonna jump into that, and then I don't know if I'm gonna trust the audience on voting for our next series, but
Yeah.
whatever it goes, it goes. So,
Audience, you had your chance and you fucked it up.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. We've been doing it for 5 years. This is the first time they fucked me like that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So,
That's what happens when you leave the power to the people. You do a
Yeah.
second Taylor Swift album in Dash.
Right.
people suck.
So Matt steers us in the right direction, and then here we are revisiting Taylor Swift. So, Matt, where can we find you?
All right, so right now with the campaign, we'd love to have everybody go up there, like Ed said, whether it's $1 digital back, or if you're somebody that wants to get, the big completion of tiers, we'd love to see you at tinyurl.com/heirs, HEIRS, TPP5, which is Heirs, the Perilous Prospects, 5, which is the finale of this. If you're like, man, I want to see the other stuff you guys do when you're at conventions and panel hosting and writing articles and metal music, go to linktree.com/InSymmetry Creations, INSYMMETRY Creations. All of our links are there, including the Kickstarter, but you've got metal music videos and articles and our newsletter and our website and stuff about all of our stories, and all that crap is all there at linktree.com/InSymmetry Creations.
Nice.
Very nice.
All right, and you can find me under Finish Line Comics on all the different social media. I'll be at the Hemet Theater on Sunday. This week they are doing Little Shop of Horrors, the original black and white version, and I will be there before and after the event selling comic books. I did it before the Nosferatu screening earlier this month, and I'll be there tomorrow for that one. And then in early November, I will be at the Orange County Book Fair. So that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And then you can tune in on Wednesday as Dash and I wrestle with Taylor Swift again for her new album. So yeah, Dash and I will be doing that. And then I'll be back. I won't have a Saturday show next week, but I will be back on November 1st, launching properly the Floaters one shot and also talking to some other creators. Looks like we're already kind of filling up the show for November 1st. So should be a fun one. This was our Halloween theme one. I have no idea what we're going to talk about November 1st. I'll figure it out later. But that's how the show goes. We figure it out later and we have a good time. So thank you all for joining me on my Halloween themed episode. It's great having you and great insight. I'm glad I got a bunch of horror buffs in here today. That made this show work the way it needs to work. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me.
Go watch Barbarian. If you take away any one thing from this conversation, go watch Barbarian.
Watch Barbarian. My wife in the other room has already given the seal of approval, and she has said that she will not begrudge me. Steph has said you were warned, but hey, you know what? It's now Steph can just be like, see what I tell you.
She's going to drive to your house and be like, I told you.
Steph and I, she gets to California more, so we'll run into each other in a con, and she'll look at my wife like, you didn't listen, did you? Now, next time you know what Steph says, you follow. All right. Well, we'll see you on Wednesday. And have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye.
See ya.
If you missed the live viewing of any Madness Entertainment Group production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. We'll see you next time on the Madness Entertainment Group.
All right. Well, thank